Racing hearts. Nia Monroe only dates tomboys, drives her Dodge Charger for the thrill, and lives by a strict no exes rule. With job cuts looming at her tech firm and her parents planning a surprise retirement move across the country, Nia's life is spiraling into instability. Just as she's struggling to regain control, Sasha, the only femme Nia ever let close to her heart, reappears in her life. Sasha, with her confident swagger and the kind of bold smile that draws attention, is trouble in the form of a perfectly dressed femme. She's Nia's ex, and someone Nia convinced herself was better left in the past. But with everything shifting, Sasha might be the only constant Nia can lean on. One evening after a rough day at the office, Nia heads to a crowded, trendy bar in downtown Seattle with her best friend Kai. Kai is dressed in his usual relaxed vibe, cargo pants and a vintage band tee, and is ready to distract Nia from the stress. They grab a table, and Nia catches the eye of a striking woman in a black leather jacket and deep red lipstick, watching her across the room. "I don't go for femmes," Nia reminds herself under her breath, hoping her usual type will save her from the wave of attraction she feels. But something about Sasha's gaze makes her heart race. As she's halfway through her drink, Kai nudges her, laughing at her obvious glances toward Sasha. "Come on, Nia," he says with a grin. "Sometimes it's okay to break your own rules." The music is too loud for real conversation, so they focus on the scene around them, people dancing, chatting, and enjoying themselves. Just as Nia's deciding whether to go for another drink or call it a night, she notices Sasha approaching their table, her stride confident. Sasha gives Nia a look that says everything, leaning in just close enough so her voice reaches Nia over the music. "Hey, I'm heading out, but I'd like to take you out sometime. Give me a call." Without waiting for a reply, Sasha leaves her card on the table, a smile playing on her lips as she disappears into the crowd. Nia picks up the card, turning it over thoughtfully. Kai gives her an encouraging nudge. "Maybe it's worth it," he says. The next day, after a restless night replaying the encounter in her mind, Nia calls Sasha, and they make plans to meet. There's a familiar ease when they reconnect, as though time hasn't pulled them apart as much as she'd feared. With Sasha, Nia starts to let herself dream of something more than the predictable routines she clings to. But as their relationship deepens, Nia learns of a piece of Sasha's past that could undo the fresh start they're building together. Nia's faced with a choice: cling to her fears or take a chance on love, even if it means breaking her own rules and diving into the unknown. In the end, Nia realizes that maybe, just maybe, racing through life's twists and turns with someone at her side could be worth every risk. Nia felt the tension in the air as she and Sasha settled into a cozy corner booth at a local diner. The neon lights outside cast a soft glow through the window, illuminating the faded checkered tablecloth. The familiar smell of coffee and fried food hung in the air, a stark contrast to the weight of uncertainty resting on Nia's shoulders. "So, how have you been?" Sasha asked, leaning back in her seat, her playful smile infectious. "Busy mostly. Work's been a bit of a roller coaster lately," Nia replied, picking at the edge of her menu. "They're doing layoffs, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all." Sasha's expression shifted to concern. "I'm sorry to hear that. That's really tough. But I know you're strong. You've got this." Nia appreciated the sentiment, but the uncertainty gnawed at her. "Thanks, but it's hard to feel strong when I'm constantly worried about my job. Plus, my parents are planning to move to Florida soon. It feels like everything in my life is changing all at once." Sasha reached across the table, her fingers brushing against Nia's hand, sending a ripple of warmth through her. "Change can be scary, but it can also be a good thing. Maybe it's time for you to think about what you really want." Nia caught Sasha's gaze, a mix of hope and vulnerability in her eyes. I want to not feel like I'm losing control. I want. She paused, struggling to voice the deeper desire lurking just beneath the surface. I want to feel secure again, to have something solid to hold on to. You're not alone in this, Sasha said, her voice steady. You can lean on me. I'm here for you. The weight of Sasha's words filled Nia with both comfort and confusion. Could she truly rely on her? After all, Sasha was her ex, the very person she had sworn to leave behind. But the chemistry between them felt undeniable, and each moment they shared rekindled something that had long been buried. They finished their meals, the conversation flowing effortlessly from one topic to another, laughter punctuating their exchange. For the first time in weeks, Nia felt a flicker of hope. Yet, beneath the surface, questions lingered. Was she ready to open herself up to Sasha again? Would the past haunt them? Or could they forge a new path together? As they stepped outside, the evening air was crisp and refreshing. Nia inhaled deeply, trying to dispel the doubts clouding her mind. So, what's next for you? She asked, trying to steer the conversation away from her own turmoil. Sasha hesitated, her expression shifting to something more serious. Honestly, I'm in a bit of a transition myself. After we broke up, I moved back home to take care of my dad. He's been sick, and I wanted to be there for him. Now that he's getting better, I'm trying to figure out what's next for me. It's been a lot of reflection and soul-searching. Nia felt a pang of sympathy. I didn't know. I'm really glad he's doing better. It sounds like you've been through a lot. Yeah, it's been a journey, Sasha admitted, her voice softening. But I'm starting to think about what I want. And honestly, being here with you feels like a step in the right direction. Nia's heart raced at Sasha's admission. It was both thrilling and terrifying to think that they could navigate their complicated history together. She searched Sasha's face for signs of doubt, but all she found was sincerity. Can I be honest? Nia said, biting her lip. I've thought about us. A lot. But I'm scared. Scared of getting hurt again. Scared of the past repeating itself. I get it, Sasha replied, her tone understanding. But we can't let our fears dictate our future. What if we just take it slow? No pressure, just see where things go. Nia nodded, feeling a mix of relief and trepidation. Okay. Slow sounds good. I'd like that. They exchanged shy smiles, an unspoken agreement hanging between them. For the first time in a long while, Nia felt a spark of excitement blossom in her chest. As they walked along the city streets, the soft glow of streetlights illuminated their path. The night felt alive around them, and Nia couldn't shake the feeling that this could be the beginning of something beautiful. But as they turned the corner toward the parking lot, a familiar figure caught Nia's eye. A woman standing by a car, her expression tense. Oh, looks like trouble, Sasha said, following Nia's gaze. Nia's heart dropped as she recognized the woman. That's my boss. What's she doing here? Maybe we should avoid her, Sasha suggested, glancing around as if gauging the best escape route. No, I can't, Nia said, her voice firm. I need to face whatever this is. Sasha nodded, stepping back slightly, giving Nia the space to handle the confrontation. Nia took a deep breath, steeling herself as she approached her boss. Hey, Sarah. What's going on? Nia, we need to talk, Sarah replied, her tone serious. It's about the layoffs. Nia's stomach twisted, dread pooling in her chest. I know about the layoffs, but I thought I had some time. I just want to do everything I can to stay on. Sarah shook her head, her expression tight. I know you've been working hard, but the decision has already been made. You need to prepare for what's coming. Nia felt the ground shift beneath her, the weight of uncertainty crashing down. When? How soon? Next week.
I'm sorry. No.
It's not personal. The words echoed in Nia's mind, but all she could focus on was the panic rising within her. She turned to look at Sasha, who stood a few feet away, watching her intently. In that moment, Nia realized she needed more than just a supportive friend. She needed someone who believed in her when she struggled to believe in herself. "Okay," Nia said, forcing the words out despite the turmoil inside her. "Thank you for letting me know." As Sarah walked away, Nia felt a rush of emotion surge through her. "I'm going to lose my job, Sasha. I don't know how I'm going to handle this." Sasha stepped closer, taking Nia's hands in her own. "You will handle this. You're stronger than you think. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone." Nia squeezed Sasha's hands, grateful for her support. "I want to believe that. I really do." As they stood there, a new understanding blossomed between them. The fear of the future still loomed large, but for the first time in a while, Nia felt a glimmer of hope. With Sasha by her side, she could face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they could navigate the rocky terrain of their shared past and look forward to building something new. With a deep breath, Nia looked into Sasha's eyes, feeling a connection that transcended their complicated history. "Let's take it slow," she said softly, "but let's also make a promise to be there for each other, no matter what happens." "Deal," Sasha replied, her smile lighting up the dim street. "We'll take it one day at a time together." As they walked toward Nia's car, the weight of uncertainty still lingered, but the warmth of connection made it easier to bear. Nia realized that while the road ahead might be challenging, she wouldn't have to face it alone. With Sasha by her side, she felt a newfound strength to take on whatever life threw at her. And for the first time in a long time, she looked forward to the journey ahead. As Nia slid into the driver's seat of her car, she felt a mix of determination and anxiety swirling within her. The night had transformed from a simple outing into something deeper, something filled with the potential for healing and growth. With Sasha beside her, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. "Where to?" Sasha asked, her enthusiasm a soothing balm against Nia's tumultuous thoughts. "Let's drive around the city for a bit. I need to clear my head," Nia replied, starting the engine and pulling out of the parking lot. The city lights danced outside the windows as they cruised through the familiar streets, the glow of neon signs and headlights reflecting off the pavement. Nia turned on the radio, and they sang along to upbeat songs, laughter filling the car and momentarily pushing aside the weight of their realities. "Do you ever miss racing?" Sasha asked, her voice cutting through the music. Nia smiled, recalling the adrenaline rush that came with pushing her Camaro to its limits. "All the time. There's something exhilarating about it. Like nothing else matters for those few moments. Maybe you should take it out for a spin again. I could come along and cheer you on," Sasha suggested, a playful glint in her eye. Nia chuckled. "You might not survive my driving. I don't hold back when I'm on the track." "I'm not scared," Sasha teased, mock bravado in her voice. "Just promise me you'll wear a helmet. Safety first." "Deal." Nia laughed, enjoying the banter, but the thought of racing again stirred something inside her. A desire to reclaim the pieces of herself that felt lost amid the chaos of her life. As they drove through the heart of the city, Nia suddenly turned down a side street, the familiar sights of her old racing grounds coming into view. "Hey, how about we stop here for a quick look? I haven't been in ages." Sasha nodded, intrigued. "Sure. Let's see what's going on." Pulling into an empty parking lot, Nia parked her Camaro and stepped out, the cool night air wrapping around her. The familiar scent of asphalt and gasoline filled her lungs, igniting a spark of nostalgia. Memories of late-night races, adrenaline-fueled victories, and the camaraderie of friends flooded her mind. This place feels alive, Sasha remarked, her eyes wide with excitement. Yeah, it has a certain energy, Nia replied, glancing around at the makeshift stage where street racers would gather, the remnants of past competitions lingering in the air. Nia took a deep breath, feeling a surge of confidence. Do you want to take a lap with me? Now. Sasha raised an eyebrow, looking both excited and nervous. You're serious? Why not? It's been too long. I need to remind myself what it feels like to let go. Nia grinned, the thrill of the idea invigorating her. Sasha hesitated for a moment but then smiled, the gleam of adventure lighting up her eyes. Okay. But just promise me you won't do anything crazy. Who, me? Nia laughed, her heart racing at the prospect. I'll be on my best behavior, I swear. They climbed back into the Camaro, and Nia fired up the engine. The powerful growl of the motor sent a thrill through her, and she could feel Sasha's excitement beside her. Ready? Let's do this, Sasha exclaimed, her enthusiasm contagious. Nia took off, speeding down the familiar stretch of road, the wind whipping through their hair. She felt alive, a rush of adrenaline coursing through her veins as she navigated the turns and straightaways. The world around them faded into a blur, the thrill of speed pushing her worries to the back of her mind. See? This is what I've been missing, Nia shouted over the roar of the engine. Sasha laughed, her face illuminated by the dashboard lights, exhilaration radiating from her. This is amazing. I get why you love this. As they reached the end of the stretch, Nia slowed down, a grin plastered across her face. What did I tell you? Nothing beats the feeling of the open road. I get it now. You're like a totally different person out here, Sasha replied, her eyes sparkling. It's like you come alive. Nia turned to Sasha, heart pounding not just from the drive, but from the connection building between them. Thanks for being here with me. It means a lot. Of course, Sasha said, her tone sincere. I want to be part of your journey wherever it leads. As they sat in the quiet of the parking lot, Nia couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of something new and exciting. But a flicker of doubt crept in. Was she ready to let Sasha back into her life completely? Hey, Sasha said, breaking the silence. What are you thinking about? Just us. Everything that's happened. I want to be open with you, but it's hard. Nia felt vulnerable, laying her emotions bare. Sasha nodded, her expression thoughtful. I understand. I'm nervous too. But I really want to give us another chance. I've thought a lot about our time together, and I believe we can make it work if we both try. Nia took a deep breath, her heart racing at the prospect. I want that too, but I don't want to rush into anything. I just need time to sort out my life first. Absolutely. We can take it slow. We have all the time in the world, Sasha replied, her voice steady and reassuring. As they drove back toward the city, Nia felt a sense of clarity she hadn't experienced in weeks. She was ready to face the uncertainties ahead, not just for herself but for what they could build together. Back at the diner, they settled into their seats again, this time choosing dessert to share. As they laughed and recounted old memories, Nia felt the weight of her worries begin to lift, replaced by a lightness she had longed for. After they finished their ice cream, Sasha leaned in closer, a mischievous grin on her face. What if we made a pact? For every race you win, you take me out for dinner. Only if you promise to be my biggest cheerleader, Nia countered, enjoying the playful banter. Deal. And I want to pick the restaurant every time. Sasha shot back, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Fine. But I get to pick the dessert. Nia laughed, feeling a warmth envelop her. As they continued to joke and tease, the world around them faded, and Nia felt a profound sense of belonging settle in. The road ahead might be uncertain, but with Sasha by her side, she was ready to embrace whatever came next. The evening came to a close, and as they stepped outside, the night sky twinkled with stars. Nia's heart swelled with hope and anticipation. "I'm really glad we did this tonight." "Me too," Sasha replied, her gaze lingering on Nia's face. "I've missed this. I've missed you. Let's not let it be so long before we hang out again," Nia said, feeling a surge of determination. "Agreed. Let's make it a regular thing. I want to be part of your life again," Sasha replied, sincerity flooding her voice. As they said their goodbyes, Nia felt a flicker of excitement ignite within her. She wasn't sure what the future held, but she knew she had the strength to face it. With Sasha by her side, they could navigate the uncertainties together, and perhaps find the love they had lost along the way. As she drove home, the night air filled with promise, Nia couldn't help but smile. The road ahead was wide open, and for the first time in a long time, she felt ready to embrace the journey.